All right, so now we've seen how we can return multiple values from a function. How about parameters? Can we have more than one parameter? Of course we can. We just separate them with commas. And again, then when we call a function that's expecting multiple parameters, we have to pass in multiple arguments. The arguments have to be in the order that's expected. We can also have a function that doesn't take any parameters. So I could, for instance, not take the radius in here. Right? I could just say that my CalcPy area doesn't take any parameters. I do, however, need some way to get the radius. So one way that I could get the radius, if I'm not going to pass it in as a parameter, is I could ask the user to enter it. So MATLAB has a great built-in function called input that allows us to ask the user for input. So I could say radius pi equals input, and then inside the parameters here, the parentheses, the argument that I pass to the input function is a prompt that I want displayed on the screen. The prompt will show up to let the user know that we need them to enter a value. So let's take a look at how this would work. I'll say, please enter the radius of your pi. Right? So let's save this. I haven't changed anything else in my function, right? I'm leaving the calculations the same, and I'm still going to get both values back from my function. So let's go ahead, come back, and I'm going to rerun my function call. Oops, except now it doesn't take any arguments, right? So I'm just going to use the empty parentheses to indicate that my function is not taking any arguments in the function call. And so notice what happens now. This prompt that I typed passes up, and there's a blinking cursor because MATLAB is waiting for me to enter a value. So it's saying, please enter the radius of your pi. I'll go ahead and enter 2.5. Right? You see that value then gets used to do the calculations inside my function and return the values to me. So I can have a function that takes 0 parameters, that takes 1 parameter, or that takes many parameters. I can either pass in values, or I can have the user enter values by using the input function.